Howdy, howdy, howdy. My name is Anachi Sasuke, and welcome back to Let's Play Hiveswap Friendship Simulator. In the last episode, we checked out a dude covered in piercings who was a hacker slash information specialist. And he seemed like a pretty cool dude. The good ending was nice and adorable-ish, in a weird kind of semi-murder sort of way. And less semi-murder is probably going to be this lady, Yandere Scalaby. Might be Yandere Scalaby, might not be a lady. I don't know yet. The lipstick is making me think it's a lady, but the sweater vest might not be. I don't know. Let's find out. Hopefully I won't earn the rage of those 5 knives. You've had such good luck making friends lately that you feel almost popular. But at the same time, you feel a strange sense of loneliness that new friendship doesn't seem to penetrate. Maybe being the only one of your species light years away from home is starting to catch up with you. Or maybe you're starting to understand why popular kids in movies sometimes seem so sad. A number of trolls now like you, but do any of them truly know you? But you wouldn't give the hangout with someone you have real history with. Someone with whom you don't have to do the introductory dance of, yes, I'm clearly an alien, no, I don't know what's going on. Someone with whom you could reminisce about old times. Someone you've hung out with more than once. Right now, you're on the outskirts of town, and the rocky outcrops surrounding you are familiar. You're pretty sure that the entrance to the brooding caverns is around here somewhere. Your heart beats a little faster. Bronya lives close to here, and talk about history. You two know each other deeply from hanging out once and then seeing her again in her ex-mate's hive. Plus you have a phone now. You have the power to text first. You get out the phone Kono gave you. Look at you go, reading an alien language and operating alien technology just fine. Does it make sense that you've learned how to read a new alphabet in weeks without anyone teaching you? Not really, but maybe your struggles with Spanish class in high school were just a fluke and you've been a secret linguistic genius this whole time. Bronya takes you back immediately, giving you directions for how to meet her in the caves. You head down, but before the Jade Blood Hive is in sight, a troll emerges from the shadows. At first you think it's Bronya, but you freeze mid-wave when this new troll steps into the light. Bronya doesn't wear glasses and she has never glared at you like that. It's you! I remember you! Oh, jeez. You were down here a few weeks ago! Bothering Bronya and distracting her when we almost had a lusted stampede! Ouch. Is that really how Bronya described your adventures together? Maybe it's silly for something that small to hurt your feelings when another recent friend nearly got you killed in the clown church, but you like to think you and Bronya formed a real connection. She never made you feel like you were bothering her. A real connection? Is that why you think you could just come down here and text her? Holy shit, is Yandere reading Bronya's messages? Does Bronya know she's been doing that? That's none of your business! Bronya and I are best friends! I'm just looking out for her. Yeah, you're Yandere as fuck. She has a lot of Jade Blood responsibilities, and doesn't need anyone shifty coming in to disrupt her. You have to wonder if Bronya would agree with this statement made on her behalf, and you sure would like to see her in person and confirm for yourself. Oh, you'd like that, wouldn't you? Why don't you tell me what is the nature of your relationship? Why should I allow you to hang out with her? As your text message so boldly suggested, bluffing has saved your ass in some bleak situations before, but you could also go on the offensive here. You're concerned about Bronya's privacy now, and as her friend, maybe you should just look the other way. Let's see. Make wild claims about your friendship with Bronya to save yourself. What right does Yandere have to creep on Bronya's phone? I'm gonna go with that one. You puff up with all the self-righteousness you can muster. The nature of your relationship with Bronya is between you and Bronya, and you're not doing anything suspicious by wanting to see your friend. In fact, it seems a lot more suspicious that Yandere is trying to intercept anyone who messages Bronya. What possible reason could she have to justify that? Well, I never! As I said before, I'm Bronya's best friend. I take our relationship, I mean responsibilities as a friend, very seriously. You press the issue, narrowing your eyes and crossing your arms over your chest. Her responsibilities as a friend, huh? Sounds kinda fishy. Fishy? Are you serious right now? Are you really coming down here making fish puns? That's the kind of sea dweller. That is so suspicious. Who knows what Bronya decided to show you when you tricked her into trusting you? Not that we have anything to hide, but who knows? If you're at all associated with sea dwellers, then we have a pretty big problem on our hand, don't we? You've heard of sea dwellers by now, but none of your friends have talked about them much. Most of you gather that they dwell in the sea. You don't know why it would be extra bad for you to be one of them, but it's clear you need to backpedal. Before you can try to disown your choice of fish-related phrasing, Yandere advances on you. Obviously, I can't let you talk to Bronya now. You're way too suspicious. I think you and I should have a private conversation instead. At least your life is uneventful when you're unconscious. When you come to, you're sitting on a chair with your wrist tied. As your eyes adjust to the darkness, you realize that you're in a smaller cave than the big open caverns that led to the Jade Blood Hive. At least you're... Why does it do that? As a light switches on, and you can see that the cave walls are lined with bookshelves, and there is a desk in the corner. There are books and notebooks and bulletin boards with what look like outlines and study guides pinned to them. This is a freaking dungeon! And it's got some, many uncomfortable Bronya things. She is so fucking tsundere, or not tsundere, yandere, it's not even funny. It's a little funny. In front of you is Yandere holding a knife. Oh good! You're awake! This is my study cave. In the Jade Blood Hive, it's harder to concentrate because people break the rules and I get irritated. So I come here to do homework. That's all! Just homework! When you take a second look at the bulletin boards, you see a lot of what Yandere has pinned up her pictures of Bronya. There are a few pictures of Yandere and Bronya together, but it's mostly just Bronya by herself, and even a couple of blurry photos of Bronya and Elward. What are you looking at? There's nothing to see here! She brandishes the knife in your face, and okay, yeah, sure, now she and her gigantic knife have your full attention, and you are not looking at her creepy Bronya shrine anymore. I brought you here because your messages to Bronya were highly suspicious! I don't know you, and I don't trust you. You could be trying to see Bronya for nefarious purposes. So I brought you here to vet you. Now we can talk about what your real intentions are. So you're definitely going to die in this cave held captive by an unhinged Jade Blood who was convinced of your guilt from the moment you dared to text her best friend. That kinda sucks. You tried so hard and you got so far, but in the end it didn't even matter. Oh come on, stop playing the victim. If anyone here is the victim, it's me. I tried so hard to be there for Bronya as her best friend, but she doesn't even... Yandere stops abruptly. You see her lower lip start to tremble before she turns her face from you. The sharp tip of the knife is pointed at your throat, droops a bit. Its ejected swing takes it dangerously close to your navel, and you try to subtly lean backwards in your chair. Yandere interprets the noise of distress that escapes your mouth as a noise of sympathy. It's fine though. Really, it's fine. Our friendship is great. I wouldn't change anything about it. It's fine as long as she doesn't have any other friends. Because I'm her best friend! I should be the only one she needs! Yandere's knife is now completely lowered, pointing at the floor. That gives you some hope. She seems to have forgotten about her Sea Dweller suspicions. Maybe if you keep her talking about Bronya, the whole stabbing notion can be taken off the table, she might even let you go! You rack your brain for all the knowledge of alternating relationship dynamics that you've managed to compile during your time on this planet. Best friends. They have a special word for that, right? You tell Yandere that you're sure Bronya doesn't need anyone else. If she and Bronya are Moirails, then Yandere must be very special to her. What? I never said we were Moirails! That's not even the quadrant that I want her in. I mean, never mind that! How dare you make assumptions! Oh, knife point again? Oh, shit. All you meant was to say that you thought her relationship with Ronnie was probably fine. You figured they must be in a quadrant together because you're a clueless alien. You're bad. I get why you would think that. It's probably so obvious that my feelings are very red. Yandere hangs her head and her shoulders shake. Tears roll down her cheeks, dripping onto her crisp shirt collar and the knot of her jade green tie. I know I don't have a chance. She doesn't think of me that way. I'm her loyal friend and second in command. That's all I will ever be to her no matter what. And I try to do a really good job at being her best friend. Because what else can I do? If I'm her best friend, then at least I'm still in her life. At least I mean something to her. Maybe it's the fact that Yandere's knife hasn't come close to any of your major arteries for a hot minute, or maybe it's the tears. Either way, you feel sympathy encroaching on the monopoly that abject terrorists previously maintained in your brain's economy. You've acted as a verbal sounding board or a sympathetic ear for some of your other troll friends while they dealt with crises of various kinds. Slipping into the role of therapist for someone who's holding you hostage at knife point is a new one for you, but unfortunately it's not that much of a stretch. It seems like young trolls on Eternia have to deal with these heavy life issues by themselves, feeling so alone that they're willing to turn to an alien stranger to help them work things out. Then again, maybe life is that grim and isolating for human teenagers too and you just never noticed before. Maybe everyone's too mired in their own shit to look up and realize that the moo beast fecal matter is waist high for everyone around them too. You clear your throat to speak with as much consoling gentleness as you can muster while your head still throbs from where Yandere knocked you out. It seems like trying to be Bronya's best friend isn't making Yandere very happy. Of course it isn't making me happy! I can't keep her from having other friends no matter how hard I try. She's amazing, so of course everyone wants to be her friend, including you apparently! You barely even had a chance to miss that knife before it's waving around again? Yikes. Your friendship with Bronya is nothing like her relationship with Yandere or whatever. You You won't count as any kind of competition. Bronya is one of many friends to you, and while you cherish her and support her endeavors, you appreciate the joy and fulfillment that can come from having many different friends instead of depending on a single person to meet all of your emotional needs. Sounds fake! Why would I ever want any friends besides Bronya? She's my whole world! Okay, but it seems like it's painful for Yandere to be relying on Bronya to be her whole world when Bronya isn't doing the same in return. Has Yandere ever talked to Bronya about any of this? No! Never! I'm terrified to tell her how I feel. Being her best friend feels awful, but losing her will be so much worse. I can't take that risk. But if Yandere never talks to Bronya about her feelings, she'll always be unhappy because she wants more. Even if she thinks that it's unlikely that Bronya feels the same way, maybe open communication with her friend would help Yandere process her feelings and move on. You know that Yandere has a big heart, blood pusher, and many fine qualities, and she doesn't deserve to be stuck in this unhappy, unrequited relationship purgatory forever. Wow. You really think I have fine qualities? You try very hard not to think about the glint of that knife. Sure, Yandere has positive qualities. She seems loyal and well-organized and studious and caring. Some trolls out there is going to want that same kind of closeness from her that Yandere is looking for, and she owes it to herself to take actions that could lead to happiness instead of being stuck in a sad situation forever. I don't know. Maybe you're right or maybe you're wrong, but I don't want to move on, even if I know I should. I just want to be with Bronya forever! Yandere crumbles to the ground, dropping the knife and sobbing into her hands. It's hard to watch someone in this much distress and not want to help them, but on the other hand, her misery has distracted her and this might be her only chance to try and escape. I want to attempt comfort. You remember what you did for Polypa when she was upset? Sitting in a chair with both hands tied behind you doesn't make for ideal shush papping conditions, but maybe you can approximate the gesture? That's a bad idea, dude. Don't do that. Yandere is huddled crying on the floor, and you think you could get close enough to lean your knee against her back or something? Hopefully that will be interpreted the same way as the classic palm the cheek move. You inch the chair closer to her, but you lose your balance and wobble and then topple forward. Yandere's discarded knife is right there, sharp edge ready to plunge to your incoming soft body, but Yandere moves quickly and grabs your chair and saves your life. Oh shit, that was a close one! You really could have died! She stares at the knife with huge round eyes, clearly shaken by your near-death experience just now. Considering you often nearly die these days, you feel more blasé about it, but you're glad it's having an impact on her if it makes her rethink the whole kidnap and stab thing. I'm so sorry! I don't want you to actually die! I saw what you were doing with that chair when you fell. You were trying the traditional seated front hinge shush pat because I was upset. It was very kind of you to try and console me. I never really thought that you were a siege roller, you know. Maybe what I'm doing is wrong? Yandere sets her jaw with conviction and with one slash cuts you free of your bonds. You get to your feet stumbling a bit because your leg fell asleep. You can't believe you're getting out of this situation without any blood loss. You feel positively elated about this turn of events, but Yandere still looks sad. You're free to go. You must think the worst of me after all this. Well, you're not going to lie, this wasn't the best start to a friendship you've ever had, but horrifyingly enough, it also wasn't the worst. You feel for Yandere, and you want to show her how a real friend-making aficionado gets out there and meets people. You think making new friends could help her feel less clingy about Bronya. Oh, you would really do that for me? I'm not so sure about new friends, but you do seem to know what you're talking about. You don't know where to go with Yandere to teach her how to make new friends. She's probably a bit too uptight to enjoy the music clubs you've been to, and you don't think that troll studying in the book hive would take kindly to a lot of loud, friendly conversation. Decide to go— oh god. You decide to go to the cafe that Elward introduced you to. Thankfully, they're not having an excessive bodily force poetry night, since you're not sure what would be Yandere's scene. There are a number of ceruleans here, but you also spot a few indigos and teals and a cluster of defiant-looking olive with some yellows, all sitting together. The crowd is overall less pierced and undercutted than it was when you were here with Elward, and the vibe is laid back with all the trolls just sitting around and quietly chatting. You order the drinks, already taking for granted your newly acquired skill of reading troll language. Yandere is fidgeting when you sit down with her. This may come as a shock to you, but I don't get out of the caverns very much. I don't have time! There's so much to learn about J-Blood life and troll reproduction, and Bronya needs my help to maintain order. It's not very often that I have to, interact with trolls of other blood colors. You're not sure what's making her uncomfortable. The trolls around here that are lower than her on the Hema spectrum, or those that are higher. You've worked out by now that Jades are right in the middle, so maybe Yandere identifies with neither the haves nor the have-nots? For what you remember, neutrality is a big concept with Jades. You assure Yandere that it's natural to be a little nervous. Most people feel like they're stepping out of their comfort zone when they make a new friend. If there's one thing you've learned as Alternia's resident friend-making expert, it's that terror and embarrassment are par for the course, but it's worth it in the end. I'm not nervous or embarrassed. It's just, I don't know. Everyone seems disorganized and suspicious and untrustworthy and unknown. You have to bite your lip to keep from laughing. It's not even funny, it's just Yandere is hissing all her words and leaning in toward you and glaring at the rest of the room, and the overall effect is weirdly endearing. Like someone to put a 1950s school uniform on a feral cat. Before you can try again to reassure her, a new troll ambles up to your table. Who is friendly, that's a friendly smile. She's wearing glasses and carrying a book bag and has a teal symbol on her chest, so she might be a nerd like Yandere. This could be a good new friend match. Hi guys, I think I've seen you around before. Do you also study at the book hive? You open your mouth to invite this new friend to sit down, but before you can respond, Yandere interjects. That's not any of your business, is it? Why do you even want to know? Obviously, anyone who goes to the book hive to study goes there for peace and quiet, so why would you think you get bothered just because you recognize us from there? Okay, jeez. My bad, never mind. See you around, never. And just like that, a gold opportunity for friendship is gone in a puff of smoke. I feel like the fact that they had a name means you're going to come back later. What was Yandere thinking being so rude? Doesn't she want to learn how to make friends? I changed my mind, okay? There's no way I could be friends with any of the people here. I don't know them. Not like I know you. You're surprised to hear Yandere feel so positive about you when she was ready to stab you an hour ago? She takes your hand in both her hands, squeezing your fingers tight. I know we didn't get off to a great start, and that's my fault, but I can make it up to you. We're friends now, and we'll be friends forever. And I will call anyone who ever thinks about trying to fuck with you. That is not quite the lesson you would hope to teach her about making friends, but maybe with her fierce loyalty and possessive streak spread out between you and Bronya, Yandere can be a little more low-key about being a friend to you both. The determined look in her eyes and the ominous glint of her glasses don't scream low-key, but change doesn't always happen overnight, and you believe in second chances. You believe that Yandere will be capable of a healthy friendship someday. Why does the knife already have blood on it? Okay, so that's the good ending. Now we gotta figure out the other ones. Okay. Fast forward. Wait, I have to, there was another answer in there, I think. Right, I have to go back and try to escape. You look around to see if there's anything within reach that you could use to free your bound hands. On the desk, a few feet away, you spot a spiral-bound notebook with a nasty-looking edge on its binding. You scoot your chair over, doing your best not to make any noise, but Yandere is too busy wailing to notice regardless. You get hold of the notebook and saw through the rope on your wrists. It was so hard to watch her and Elward together. Elward doesn't deserve her, she was so mean. I know she's truly, but I swear if she shows her face in the caverns again, I will go straight to her for her primary spurt artery. It's a good reminder that Yandere is dangerous. You saw faster and success. Your hands are now untied. Yandere's back is turned to you while she gets up from the floor. You take a quick look at the notebook in your hands. It seems to be a carefully annotated and organized scrapbook / diary chronicling Yandere's friendship with Bronya. On the one hand, it's a bit creepy in the context of how you're still held hostage by the person who made this, but on the other hand, it does pull at your heartstrings. But you keep a firm grip on those heartstrings because you still gotta get out of here. When Yandere turns back to face you, you leap from your chair brandishing the scrapbook in front of you like a shield. If she comes any closer with that knife, you can destroy the scrapbook in an instant with your acidic spit! That's right, your alien anatomy has destructive powers that can vaporize Yandere's precious Bronya memories in seconds! No! You can't! What are you doing? How dare you! Ow, touch that book! For a terrifying second, you think she might lunge at you, but Yandere steps to the side, giving you a straight shot to the cave exit. As you scuttle your way towards freedom, you remember your phone. Yandere took it from you when she knocked you out, and you don't know how that you could possibly get another one? No way! Ah, damn it, I got hiccups from doing her angry yell. I'm not giving you anything you might use to contact Bronya. I won't have you messaging her behind my back and trying to replace me as her best friend. It seems like nothing you said when you were tied up had any impact on her at all. Maybe forcing people at knife point to be your therapist doesn't result in quality therapy. You still feel bad for her, but it's time to break out the big guns. If Yandere doesn't return your phone, you will find another way to reach Bronya, and you'll tell her everything. Not only the lowdown on Yandere's stalking and kidnapping tendencies, but also the truth about how Yandere feels about her. Yandere gapes at you. Her eyes fill with tears again, but she hands over your phone. I can't believe how cold you are! I thought that maybe we were bonding, that maybe I could start to trust someone other than Bronya, but you didn't mean a single word of all those things you said. Yandere's face twists and contorts between rage and grief. When you make the phone scrapbook trade, she drops a knife in her other hand and clutches the scrapbook to her chest like it's one of the Wigglers in the Jade Blood Nursery. You don't feel guilty for doing what you had to do to escape unharmed, but you can't help but wish that you had been able to actually help her. It's clear to me now! Bronny's the only friend I will ever have! Okay, so that's the bad ending, because it looks like all of the endings are going to result in her being crazy. But at least one of the crazy was a good? Let's find out what the other thing is. And hope my hiccups stay gone. Llanera Scalibi. Make wild claims about your friendship with Brian to save yourself. You and Brian go way back. If Llanera is unfamiliar with your history, it might be because your friendship with Brian predates hers. And actually, part of why you texted her today was because your close friendship has recently been getting a little red, you could say. Oh god, why wouldn't you do this? Brian needed to step in and fill the hole in her blood pusher left by Elwood after all. Considering the changing nature of your relationship, Brian has been even more protective of you than usual lately. Llanera doesn't seem impressed by your astute cultural knowledge, nor does she look intimidated. Her glasses reflect opaque in the murky cavern. Light as she takes a step closer. Her claws, you've just noticed, are very sharp. Brian is very protective of those she pities. You got that much right, if you're telling the truth. And I don't know that you are. Maybe she would want to protect you, if she knew that you were here. Oh, fuck, you fucked up. If Llanera intercepted Brian's phone, then Brian has no idea you reached out and you can be disposed of with none the wiser. Oh no! Look what you made me do! You had no idea someone in a skirt that long could move so fast. So, lying causes murder, escape causes crying, and good ending causes more insane yandere. Cool! So, this has been Anashi Sasuke. This is episode 22 of Let's Play Hiveswap Friendship Simulator. In the next episode, maybe we'll get that one person that tried to befriend Llanera in the coffee shop. Because they had a name, and they had a quirk typing. They could have just been random unnamed troll number blue, but they weren't. So maybe they'll come up, maybe they won't. In any case, if you liked it, a like and a subscribe will be groovy. If you didn't, you don't need to do either one of those things. And I will see y'all in the next one. Later.